Good morning and a very warm welcome to Dilip Academy's first undergraduate seminar. It's great to have you here with us this morning, and we're glad that you have decided to come in such large numbers. In fact, we have a space downstairs, and there are people who are actually seated in that lower area. And to all of those of you who are in that lower space, I'd like to give you a very warm welcome, especially because you're out of sight, but I just want to tell you that you are not out of mind. In coming to this program, you have actually taken a step that might change the life of your child or the child of someone you know. And at the outset, I would like to thank our media partners, Times of India, and the sponsors, HDFC Credila, without whose support this program would not have been possible. Dilip Academy is a pioneering Indian institution in the field of higher education abroad. Since 1996, under the able guidance of Dilip, our founder and director, Dilip Academy has played a key role in sending close to 30,000 students to colleges and universities across America, Canada, and even Germany. Until today, the vast majority of those students have gone to pursue master's degrees in various engineering fields. Now, however, bachelor's programs in the United States are also attracting considerable attention. And our program today is in recognition of the tremendous opportunities offered by graduate programs in the United States and also the growing demand for them in India. So it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the first seminar that Dilip Academy is organizing for undergraduate studies in America. Now, there are important questions that remain, and the purpose of today's program is to answer the most important questions that you should know about the bachelor's programs in America. Number one, what do American undergraduate bachelor's courses offer, and what are the benefits? Number two, since most of you are parents, there would be the question, will my children be able to meet the academic admission requirements for such bachelor's programs? And thirdly, and very importantly, is the bachelor's program in America financially possible for you to pursue? And if so, how? Answering those questions for you today, on the stage we have Mr. Dilip, our founder and director. And also with us are Melody Stapleton, Dean of the College of Computer Science and Construction Management in California State University, Chico. You've just seen a video of that university played. Dr. Stapleton has served as Dean for the College of Computer Science and Construction Management since fall 2018. And this is after holding the Associate Dean role, where she spearheaded a college-wide laboratory spaces upgrade initiative. As Dean, she worked to obtain a $1 million grant from Omron Corporation, which is the third largest robotics and automation corporation in the world. And the purpose of this was to build a state-of-art robotics laboratory to be completed this year. Accompanying her from Chico is the Associate Dean, Seema Sherawat, and we're pleased to have both of you here today. She's a doctor, and she has a background in information technology, accounting, and also construction management. And she's also secured $2 million in grants and a separate endowment of $850,000 for the School of Social Work's DL Distributed Learning Program. Also on the dais with us today is Maggie Woolford, who is an international graduate recruiter with about a decade of experience. She's an old friend of Dilip Academy, and this is her 5th trip to India. It's a pleasure to have you all with us, and we hope that you will enjoy being with us. At this point, I would like to ask Mr. Dilip to welcome our guests with a bouquet. First of all, Melody Stapleton, Dr. Melody Stapleton, Dean of Chico State University. Dr. Seema Sherawat, and Margaret Woolford. So our program this morning will be as follows. First, Mr. Dilip will give a brief introductory speech, followed by his seminar on undergraduate education in the United States. Then we will have a video presentation, which will be handled both by the Dean and the Associate Dean of Chico, California State University, Chico. And then we will wrap up with our third item, which will be a question and answer session. And during this question and answer session, we also have two students who have come down to share their experiences with us. We'll have Amit Paranspe from Purdue University and also Mugdha Gangal, who's from Georgia Institute of Technology. Now, we'll begin with the presentation by our founder and director, the introductory presentation. Mr. Dilip is a pioneer and a known figure in the field of higher education abroad. He started Dilip Academy in 1996 with a small batch of 23 students. A trusted counselor to thousands, he has shaped the lives of students all over India and has laid the foundations for the success of the Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you Mr. Dilip, our director.
Honorable guest, Dr. Melody Stapleton from CSU Chico, Dr. Seema Sherawat, Associate Dean from CSU Chico, and my friend Margaret Woodford from State University of New York at Binghamton. I really appreciate that these three guests have come from America only for this function. Melody and Seema arrived on Friday, and Maggie came yesterday evening, and all of them are going back immediately on Monday. So Dilip's Academy is really grateful to you, and I'm sure we will have the same patronage in future as well. I also thank Times of India. They are our media partners for many years, and education loan providers HDFC Credila, because without whom thousands of students could not have gone to America. They give a liberal loan to our students. And apologies to people who are sitting downstairs, because the capacity of this hall is only 800. So 500 guests had to sit in the mezzanine floor. But anyway, they can see the whole program on the screen. In the past few years, we have seen an increasing trend amongst Indian parents to send their children to America for a bachelor's degree. Because when I started this organization in 1996, nobody was going to America, neither for bachelor's nor for master's. But then I could see the definite future for master's students in America, because IT industry was in boom. And Indians have a gifted IT brain. So therefore, they had a lot of demand in the United States of America. So I started this institute on a very small scale. People laughed at me, said, what nonsense you are doing, because I'm a chartered accountant. I was working in a good company. But then it picked up in 4 years' time. And till date, in last 22 years, I could manage to send about 30,000 students to America for master's course. So this is the single largest institute in India with a good success. So now I can see a very bright future for undergraduates. So therefore we are starting this new division, and today is the first program of undergraduate education. There are two reasons I said. Number one, parents are now aware of the advantages of giving international exposure to their students. And they have money because there are a lot of parents have their businesses or professions, especially IT professions. So they have funds to support their children. They have funds to spend for their education. I won't say spend because they don't spend money. They are investing money in the career of their children. And why I'm saying investing, because when you invest, you definitely have return on investment. So the students who go to America for bachelors, they definitely learn much more than what they can do in the home country. And in the long run, that will help their career. So that is the reason that those who can afford to spend about 60, 70 lakhs for 4 years degree, they are started sending their children to America. Number two, children are also very smart now. They have a lot of exposure through internet and through WhatsApp. So they are aware of what is happening in the world. So gone are those days when parents were afraid to send their child 15,000 miles away. Because the means of communications are so nice that even if he's in America, he is in touch with their parents all the time. Therefore, the fear of sending small child, I'm saying small because they are just 16, 17 years old, to America is no more now. Next is the tough competition in India now. Because if you want to get into IIT, NIT, BITS, Pilani, BITS, of course they have 2 or 3 different campuses, then you really have to slog for 2 years. I can see many children whom I know in 11th and 12th, they literally study for 10 hours, 12 hours a day. They just forget everything else in their life. And after all this, hardly 2% students get admission. And the rest, 98% are frustrated. Because in spite of putting in so many efforts, they finally end up getting nothing. And out of those 98%, there are some intelligent and above average students who really deserve to get into these institutes in India, just miss it by a few marks because it's a very tough race. So what is the option for them? The option for these students is to go to America for a bachelor's degree. Now there are 2 possibilities. Number one, if you have funds, 70 to 80 lakhs, if your parents can afford to spend, then you can easily go to America to a very high-class university. But if you are from a middle-class family, and if you have no funds to spend, then the second choice is study hard for SAT, get very good score. When I say SAT means it's a prerequisite examination required to get admission into American universities, SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test, which is out of 1600 marks. I'm going to discuss that later. So if you score about 1350 or 1400 plus in SAT, and if you maintain very good academic record in 10th, 11th, and if possible in 12th, if available of course, then you can get tuition scholarship from a reasonably good tier 2 university. And when you get tuition scholarship, the entire education for 4 years is manageable within, say, maximum 20 to 25 lakhs. And that loan you can obtain from the loan providers. When I say tier 2 universities, does not mean that they are bad universities. Tier 1, tier 2, all the universities are the same as far as the facilities are concerned, number of students are concerned, the qualification of teaching staff is concerned. So every university in America, whether tier 1 or tier 2, they have the same facilities. So even if you go to tier 2 universities, doesn't mean that you are going to a bad university. You are going to a good university, which will definitely get you a job after you complete your education. Therefore, I strongly recommend that those who are from middle class families, but they are intelligent, they can give a shot for SAT. apply to universities. We will help you to apply. And if you get tuition scholarship, you can seize this opportunity of going to America, and you can manage your own funds with the loan providers. We, in fact, are starting our SAT classes this year because for you have to give SAT and TOEFL, 2 examinations. I'm going to discuss that later, of course. TOEFL classes we already have. SAT classes we are starting, the weekend batches we are starting on 13th of July. The Saturday batch will be in the morning at 7:30 and it will end at 10:45. And the same batch will continue on Sunday morning from 7:30 to 9. If you want to book your seat in advance after the function gets over, you can meet our counselor sitting outside on the podium, outside on the front desk, and book your seat for SAT program by just paying 1,000 rupees. Now, before I discuss further about SAT, I think, because you have several questions in your mind, so all those questions I will try to answer through slides which I will start playing now. And just to repeat our agenda again, I will complete my presentation, followed by a presentation of the guests coming from CSU Chico, and if time permits, even Maggie also will speak to you for a few minutes. And then there are 2 students from America who are studying in America. One has finished his graduation, one is studying. They will come and share their experiences. And finally, we will invite questions from the audience. Of course, audience which is sitting on the front hall, not from the people who are sitting downstairs. So now let me take a small pause and switch over to my presentation. Thank you, guests, for coming all the way from America, and we'll call you back on the dais soon. Thank you. खुर्च्या काढायच्या? काय ग्रुप फोटो नंतर काढू, लोक कंटाळतील. ते लग्नातल्यासारखं होईल, ग्रुप फोटो काढता काढता लोक कंटाळतात. मला काही पेरेंट्सनी सांगितलं की मी थोडंसं मराठीत बोलायला पाहिजे. पाहिजे का? हो का नाही मला माहीत नाही. अधूनमधून बोलीन मी. मला मराठी जे महत्त्वाचे पॉईंट्स असतील ते. सुरू आलं का? This is map of America. Oh, sorry, I don't want to show him the first. So let me show you the map of America first. I can't pinpoint the exact place which I am discussing. California, if you see on the left-hand side, Sacramento, you will see Sacramento. That is the capital city of California. Can you see from there? I don't know. Oh, you can. And just below Sacramento is San Francisco and San Jose, which is a very, very popular area amongst Indians. That is called Silicon Valley. Thousands of Indians have migrated to Silicon Valley since 1998, last 20 years. Even my daughter and son-in-law are settled in the same place. They are American graduates. She works in Facebook, my son-in-law works in LinkedIn, and they are quite happy there. Below that is Los Angeles. Hollywood, yes. It's Hollywood, and plus there are a lot of gaming industry in Hollywood. If you go further down, that is San Diego, which is known for Qualcomm. It's a very big American company. If you go up north, right on top, there is a bay again. The place is called Seattle. Seattle is home for Microsoft, which is the highest, which has highest employees in the world. Plus in Seattle there is one more giant company, that is Amazon. It's coming up very fast. Mr. Bezos, he is famous because of his divorce. And also Boeing 767 and 777 are manufactured here. So there are 3 giant companies. And one more company which students are quite happy to know the name is Starbucks. So, nowadays students go to Starbucks, parents go to Vaishali because parents can't afford to drink coffee of 300 rupees. Students can. Indian students are very rich. American students are poor because they are not supported by their parents. Then if you go further down, you will see Portland. Portland is famous for electrical engineering students. Intel, you must have heard the name of that company. So in San Francisco, San Jose area, all big companies like Facebook, Apple, Google, VMware, Uber, all these companies have their headquarters. So a lot of Indians are migrating to this area. If you go on the eastern side, east coast, go a little up, you will see New York City, which is business district of the whole world. All major banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, hedge funds, stock market, consulting firms, they're all located in New York. Lots of Indians migrate to New York, New Jersey area also. Traditionally, many Gujarati and Punjabis migrated to New Jersey area. And if you go a little below, then you will see Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. This area is also quite popular amongst Indians. Go a little on the right-hand side, you will see there are several lakes, and just beneath that lake is Michigan, MI. This is popular destination for mechanical engineering and industrial engineering students. The Detroit is a place or is a hub or headquarter for three auto giants, that is Ford Motors, Chrysler and General Motors. And the fourth auto company is Tesla, which is in Bay Area again. So many Indians you will find in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. These are manufacturing hub of America. And if you go down, you will find a big state called Texas. George Bush is from Texas. And in Texas, Dallas is quite popular for electrical and telecom engineering. You go further down, you will see Austin. Austin is a new hub for com science because many companies can't afford to start companies in San Francisco area. They are going to Austin. And on the right-hand side of Austin is Houston, which is a petroleum base. All Exxon, Mobil, giant petroleum companies are based here. So this is America, where you are likely to go within next 2-3 years. Just read this. The last line is important. Trump is not against students. He is encouraging students to come. He is against outsourcing companies basically who have misused H-1B visa. So don't misunderstand. Anyway, I need not discuss anything about Trump. You have read enough about him. Why America? Because it's the largest economy. We'll quickly go through that. 19.3 trillion. You see how many crores of dollars multiplied by 70. 24% of world GDP is America alone. India is 2.6. So almost 1/8 of America. And only 3% GDP. The population of America is 32.87 crores. India is 4 times that. So American economy is almost 30 times stronger than Indian economy. Predominantly white country, 62% blacks. Hispanics means Mexican who cross the border and then they enter America. They are the people who really work all lower end jobs. Asians 6%, others 2%. Within Asians, Chinese 41 lakhs, highest number because they have been migrating for last several years. Indians, they've mainly started migrating after 1996 or 98. There are 40 lakhs and Filipinos 37 lakhs, especially in the healthcare industry, there are a lot of Filipinos. USA 32.87, Germany is 8.28, and I have given the GDPs because a lot of people ask me, what about other countries? So the strength of America is 4 times of USA, it's almost 10 times of Canada, and almost 12 times of Australia. Therefore, that is the reason why we send more students. America has a tremendous capacity to absorb immigrants compared to other countries. Canada, of course, is a good destination, but it's a small economy. These are all stalwarts. Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadal, Indra Nui is retired now, Ajit Jain. Probably you have heard the name of Berkshire Hathaway. Who is that gentleman? Warren Buffett, the investor, he is going to take over now, probably. So Indian population migrated mainly after 1990, but after 1998, 72% Indians have a bachelor's degree or higher degree. And median income for Indian is $100,000, whereas average income of American is $56,000. That is the reason why there is hatred amongst Americans towards Indians and Chinese. So Trump got elected only because of that, because all Indians and Chinese are highly educated, they are getting a lot of money, they go in Tesla and Mercedes and BMW, they have huge houses. which Americans don't have. Many Americans, of course, 5% Americans are extremely intelligent and they are very rich. But I am talking about common American. So Indians are doing very, very well in America. Now they are into government also in many places. So the Jewish community earlier was very dominant. Now Indian and Chinese community also is becoming dominant in America. Now why America? Better job opportunities and lowest unemployment rate since 69, because today America is doing very well. The unemployment rate is lowest in 50 years, that is 3.8%. Shortage of technical manpower, because in America, the main problem is they need a lot of technical assistance, but the supply is limited because Americans generally don't go for technical fields. So they will always depend on immigrants. So they will always absorb Indian students and Chinese students. Anybody can be president of America. Anybody can try to change the policies. They cannot survive without Indian and Chinese immigrants. You go to any company, Tesla, or you go to Facebook, or you go to LinkedIn, you will find an entire technical team, engineering team, they call it America, is of Chinese, Indians, and very few Americans. Therefore, it's a good opportunity for Indians to go there in the technical field especially. Relatively higher standard of living for a common man, because in India, it's very difficult to buy even a house. But in America, the person who starts working within 2 years, he can buy a house, he can buy a car, and he can live a comfortable life. Therefore, out of 30,000 students who have gone to America from my class, including my daughter, 95% are there, only 5% came back, because they can have a very comfortable, clean and honest life. Excellent law and order, safe environment, pollution-free, clean environment, cultural diversity. America is a melting pot. You will find people coming from all over the country. Within 2 generations, they become American. They forget their culture. Like if Indians, the 3rd generation of Indians are Americans now. They don't know what is India. So therefore, America is accepting immigrants, and then eventually everybody becomes American. So that's the beauty of that country, the cultural diversity. You get all types of restaurants there, all types of cultural programs in America. You can enjoy there. And last, merit is rewarded. No discrimination on the basis of caste or religion. So there is no reservation, of course. There is some affirmative program for a few communities. But otherwise, America, if you are merit holder, Sundar Pichai could become head of a huge company, Google. Satya Nadella could become chief of Microsoft. Can you imagine that an Indian can become head of a very large corporation in America? They could, because the merit is rewarded. The person who works hard, the person who is intelligent is American. That is their simple destination. There is no Bhumiputra Andolin in America. Why study in America? That is the reason why we have called you here. Number one, high quality institutions of worldwide reputation. If you see the ranking of university in the world, majority top ranking universities are from America. You must have heard names like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, California, Berkeley, California, Los Angeles, all these, Carnegie Mellon, Cornell, Columbia, Yale, all these universities are located in America, where you can get fantastic education. Course flexibility. In fact, Mugdha and Amit are going to tell you about that. You can select from a broad range of programs. In India, when you start your education, you have to decide on day one that, okay, I'm going to do mechanical engineering. And then you can't change that. In America, first 2 years, you can take any course of your choice. And then you can decide in the 3rd year, okay, now I like mechanical engineering, so I will go for mechanical engineering majors. So that is the beauty of education in America. They ask you, they don't ask for the specialization on day one. They give you a chance to become mature and then decide what exactly you want in life. That is not available in India. Clear? So therefore, many countries, many students initially are indecisive. In India, students are indecisive, but parents decide on their behalf that my child will go for comm science, he will go for mechanical. The poor child, 16 years old, doesn't understand anything what is mechanical and what is computer science. Lot of interference from parents in India. खूप पेरेंट्सचा इंटरफिअरन्स असतो आपल्या मुलांनी काय करायचं. ते फ्रीडम अमेरिकेमध्ये आहे. तुला काय करायचं तू ठरव. 2 वर्ष तू हे सगळे मिनिमम कोर्सेस घे, मग तुला वाटेल तुझ्या आईवडिलांना सांगू पण नको तू काय करणार आहेस ते. त्यामुळे तुम्ही अमेरिकेला जा, कारण तुमच्या आईवडिलांनी तुम्हाला खूप सांगितले आतापर्यंत. ह्या क्लासला जा, त्या क्लासला जा. मी बघतो मुलं ते काय धडाधड सकाळपासून नुसती धावाधाव, अमुक क्लास, तमुक क्लास, फिजिक्स क्लास, केमिस्ट्री क्लास, मग कॉलेज, मग प्रॅक्टिकल, असं करून तो 10 वाजता मुलगा हाफ डेड असतो आणि मग तो झोपतो, कारण त्याचे आईवडील टी व्ही पण बघून देत नाहीत. 2 वर्ष असं घासून घासून गेल्यावर त्या मुलाचं शैशवच संपतं सगळं. आणि मग लक्ष येतं का रे शाळेला IITला ॲडमिशनच नाही मिळाली आपल्याला. आता काय करायचं, 2 वर्ष तर वाया गेली, IIT पण गेली. त्यामुळे असं भानगड करू नका. तुम्हाला खूप फ्लेक्झिबिलिटी अमेरिकेमध्ये आहे. मुलांना खूप फ्रीडम असतं तिकडे. याचा अर्थ स्वैराचार नाही. मुलांना फ्रीडम याचा अर्थ फ्रीडम टू सिलेक्ट देअर करियर, नॉट फ्रीडम टू गो टू पब अँड डान्स देअर विथ अदर गर्ल. नो. नेक्स्ट, सम इम्पॉर्टंट टर्म्स. मुद्दाम सांगतो कारण पुढे ह्या रेफरन्स येत राहील एकसारखा. स्टेम, सायन्स, टेक्नॉलॉजी, इंजिनिअरिंग अँड मॅथमॅटिक्स. अमेरिकेमध्ये ही एक स्पेशल कॅटेगरी त्यांनी केली आहे, कारण ह्या लोकांचं अमेरिकेत शॉर्टेज आहे. So if you are going to science, which includes computer science, pure science, biological science, technology, means all engineering fields, technical fields and mathematics, then you are considered as a STEM student and you get preference for jobs, preference for visa, everywhere you get preference. So therefore, in my academy, almost 95% of the students are STEM students. F1 visa, there is a student visa which you will be applying for. OPT, optional practical training. This is a card given to students after they complete their graduation. In America, if you finish your graduation, you are allowed to work without work permit, and that is called OPT. H1B visa is work permit. पेपरामध्ये तुम्ही खूप बातम्या वाचल्या असतील H1B visa, so I need not discuss this. So which examination you have to give for getting admission into American universities? The first important examination is SAT, SAT. I'll just give you a minute. SAT is 1600 marks. Mathematics 800. This mathematics is of 10th standard, 11th standard. It's not very difficult mathematics. So you will find it very easy. English is little difficult. You have to really work hard, because even though you study in English medium schools, the standard of English of Indian students many times is not all that good. माझा असा अनुभव आहे की जे मराठी मीडियममधनं माझ्याकडे येतात त्यांचं इंग्लिश जास्त चांगलं असतं. कारण इंग्लिश मिडियमच्या मुलांना असं वाटत असतं की त्यांचं इंग्लिश चांगलं आहे, त्यामुळे ते इंग्लिशचा अभ्यास करत नाहीत. आणि मराठी मिडियमच्यांना वाटतं की यार इंग्लिश चांगलं आहे, त्यामुळे ते जास्त अभ्यास करतात आणि त्यांना जास्त चांगले मार्क मिळतात. त्यामुळे गैरसमज दूर करा. इवन इफ यू आर फ्रॉम इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल, यू रिअली हॅव टू वर्क हार्ड फॉर गेटिंग गुड मार्क्स इन इंग्लिश. देर आर 2 sections. रीडिंग, प्लीज तुम्हाला जर SAT द्यायची असेल तर रोज न्यूजपेपर तरी वाचायला सुरुवात करा. यू डोंट रीड एक्सेप्ट टेक्स्ट बुक्स. स्टॉप दॅट. यू हॅव टू रीड एव्हरी डे ॲटलिस्ट फॉर 1 hour. गुड बुक्स, गुड न्यूजपेपर, त्याचे आर्टिकल्स वाचा. ती डेव्हलप करा हॅबिट, कारण तुम्हाला तिथे खूप कॉम्प्रिहेन्शनचे प्रश्न असतात. So reading 52 questions and 65 minutes, and writing 44 questions. त्यासाठी तुमचं ग्रामर चांगलं पाहिजे, तुमची व्होकॅब्युलरी चांगलं पाहिजे. आमच्याकडे खूप वेगळी टेक्निक्स आहेत, व्होकॅब्युलरी ॲप्स आहेत. So we'll take care of that. 35 minutes. So your examination basically is 80 minutes maths, 100 minutes English, so 180 minutes, 3 hours. This is compulsory. And the optional section is essay, because there are some high-profile universities in America who demand essay score, which is on the scale of 2 to 8. So you have to write essay for 55 minutes. Again, तुम्ही बरेच दिवस तुम्हाला essay ची practice नसते, so you'll have to do that. So total duration is 3 hours plus 55 minutes optional. Maximum marks are 1600. And examination is held in Pune. It's 4 times in a year, that is October, December, March and May. Remember one thing, if you want to try for fall 2020, when I say fall, there are 2 semesters in America, fall semester and spring semester. Majority students go in fall semester, which begins in August, September, generally August, sometimes in September for few universities. So if you want to join in August 2020, you will have to give SAT by October. December also you can give, but then many universities don't accept if you SAT scores are late. Ideally, if you want funding, that is tuition scholarship, your application has to reach before 30th September. So those who are in 11th standard, or they can start preparing for SAT now, because it's the right time to start to prepare SAT, 11th standard. And you can give SAT either in October or in December or in March or in May, so that next year when you go in 12th standard, you can start your application process in August, September, and send your application packets before the end of September. Then the chances of getting tuition scholarships are very, very bright. I know many students who had very high SAT score. High means 1400 plus, 1450 plus, with good acads. They definitely, they got almost full funding from American universities. Clear? So you have a chance. And remember, don't consider 11th standard as rest year. कारण आपल्याकडे तो एक गोंधळ आहे. 11th standardला मार्क मिळत नाहीत कारण ते काय करतच नाहीत. In America, when you apply, they consider marks of 10th and 11th for admission. So 11th is equally important. You have to score very high number in 11th standard if you are applying for America. Okay, so those who are in 12th standard now, and if they aspire to go to America next fall, that is fall 20, then ideally they should attempt in October so that they can send their application packet, because sending application packets take a lot of time. Every university will demand several essays. They ask several questions about your background. So those essays, it takes time to write. So this process takes almost a month, because we apply to 8-10 universities. There is no guarantee that you will get admission in university unless you apply to more universities. तर 8-10 ॲप्लिकेशन फॉर्म्स त्यांचे एसे लिहायला खूप वेळ लागतो. त्यामुळे ऑक्टोबरला जर तुम्ही 12वीच्या मुलांसाठी परीक्षा दिलीत तर तुम्ही ऑक्टोबर एंडपर्यंत ॲप्लिकेशन करा, तुम्हाला चांगल्या युनिव्हर्सिटी मिळतील. 11वीच्या मुलांनी ह्या 4 अटेम्प्टपैकी कधीही द्या, मात्र ऑगस्ट 2020ला दे शुड स्टार्ट the process, and before September 2020, they should send the applications for admission in August 2021. Is that clear? TOEFL is one more examination. Oh, there is one more SAT subject, SAT subject examination, because if you are applying to high-class university in a specific subject, kai mulanna, they have decided that I want to go for com science, I want to go for mechanical engineering. So then you can give these subject tests, maths level 1, level 2. This is 12th standard mathematics, and fortunately तुम्ही क्लासेसमध्ये तुमचं मॅथमॅटिक्स सगळं 11वीतच संपलेलं असतं 12वीचं, कारण ते एवढं धुलाई सुरू करतात 11वीमध्येच. You finish your mathematics of 12th standard in 1 year in advance. So you find it easier. Science, physics, chemistry, biology, literature, English, history and languages. You can choose either 2 or 3 subjects from this list. Clear? Generally, the preference is given to maths, level 1 or level 2, depending on your proficiency, physics and chemistry. ह्या 3 टेस्ट बरीच विद्यार्थी देतात, चांगल्या युनिव्हर्सिटीला अप्लाय. ते अगेन आय एम रिपीटिंग, दे आर नॉट मॅन्डेटरी. They are highly recommended for high-class universities. SAT-1 is mandatory. Okay? And one more examination is TOEFL, Test of English as Foreign Language. There is a substitute examination for that is IELTS. IELTS is conducted by England, TOEFL is conducted by America. You can choose any of these 2 examinations, because our native language is not English. Though we speak better English than Americans many times, our English is not our official language, so we have to prove that we know English. So you have to give TOEFL, it's a 3 to 4 hours examination, it's available in Pune. Reading, writing, listening and speaking, minimum 80 marks are required for getting admission into any university. Ideally, if you get 100 marks, then you get into a better university. Okay? So SAT-1 is optional, but SAT General and TOEFL are compulsory examinations. Selection criteria. You need about 1350 for top-ranked university, like Georgia Tech, Stanford, Harvard, Carnegie Mellon. All those universities will definitely demand a very good score. 1150 plus for decent universities, which is achievable. Many students get this score. And above 1000 recommended for decent universities. Sometimes they even lower their by 950 also if the other credentials are good. Sometimes they waive your SAT score. In fact, Chico is sometimes they waive your SAT score if your other credentials are good. Okay, so ideally you should try to score good number in SAT. You can appear for SAT several times. I mean, if you don't get good score in the first attempt, you can apply again. But the problem is you can appear. There are only 4 attempts. So if you give in 11th standard, then you have a chance to give SAT again. But if you give in 12th standard, then it's difficult. TOEFL minimum 80, academic record 10th, 11th and predictive score of 12th standard. The predictive score म्हणजे की ह्या मुलाला 12वीत साधारणतः एवढे मार्क मिळतील असं शाळा सर्टिफाय करतं. आता सगळ्याच शाळा हे काय सर्टिफाय करत आहेत प्रेडिक्टिव्ह स्कोअर. तो मिळाला तर चांगलं आहे, नाही मिळाला तर तुम्ही फक्त 10th आणि 11th. आणखीन एक परीक्षा आहे, अमित नंतर तुम्हाला सांगेल, की जी परीक्षा तुम्ही दिलीत की तुमचा 12वीचा स्कोअर नसला तरी त्या परीक्षेच्या मार्कमुळे तुम्हाला ॲडमिशनसाठी फायदा होईल. ते सांग नंतर तू, मी आता सांगत नाही ते. Very, very important. Melody is going to explain you about this, co-curricular activities and extracurricular activities. I am not discussing more. I think I'll not discuss this more. You can discuss in your school class representative. I'll just wrap up fast. School class representative, head boy, head girl, debating, elocution competition, athletics, sports. ह्याला प्रचंड महत्त्व आहे अमेरिकेमध्ये ॲडमिशनसाठी. त्यांना ओव्हरऑल पर्सनॅलिटी मुलाची बघायची असते. आपल्याकडे नुसतं धडाधड अभ्यास याच्या व्यतिरिक्त मुलं काही करत नाहीत. दॅट इज नॉट ॲक्सेप्टेबल इन अमेरिका. यू हॅव टू पार्टिसिपेट इन सेव्हरल को करिक्युलर ॲक्टिव्हिटीज इन युअर स्कूल अँड एक्स्ट्रा करिक्युलर ॲक्टिव्हिटीज आउटसाईड स्कूल. मेंबरशिप ऑफ सोशल कल्चरल क्लब, कम्युनिटी सर्व्हिस, पालखीमध्ये जाऊन तिकडे स्वच्छता करा. पाण्याचा प्रॉब्लेम आला पुण्यामध्ये तर काहीतरी व्हॉलंटिअर करा. असंख्य गोष्टी आहेत. कचरा उचला टेकडीवर जाऊन. आम्ही सकाळी फिरायला जातो तिकडे, दर रविवारी येतात काही 12वीतली मुलं, सगळा कचरा उचलतात प्लास्टिकचा. ऑल दिस इज इम्पॉर्टंट. कारण हे सगळं तुम्हाला एसेमध्ये लिहायला लागतं की मी काय 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 करतो, इतर गोष्टी. आणि SAT स्कोअरचा 1/3, ॲकॅडमिक्स 1/3 आणि को-करिक्युलर एक्स्ट्रा करिक्युलर ॲक्टिव्हिटीज 1/3, 1/3 अशा मिळून तुमची ॲडमिशन ठरलेली असते. भारतीय विद्यार्थ्यांना हे 4 आणि 5 करायची सवय नसते. काय उगाच वेळ घालवतो त्या डिबेटिंगमध्ये, अभ्यास कर असं आईवडील धाडकन ओरडतात. तो पोरगा घाबरून जातो. कुठे उगाच कचरा वेचायला जाते, टेकडीवर उगाच घाण लोक करतात, तू कशाला साफ करते. असं नाही आहे. अमेरिकेत ह्या सगळ्या सोशल वर्कचं खूप महत्त्व आहे. ओके, त्या सांगतीलच नंतर. आता खर्च, मेन बाउन्सर आत्ता आहे. ॲप्लिकेशन कॉस्ट डिटेल्समध्ये मी सांगत नाही आहे. अबाउट 1 lakh. स्टुडंट विजा 40,000, एअर तिकीट 60,000. सो 200,000 इज द बेसिक कॉस्ट इन इंडिया टिल यू बोर्ड द प्लेन. ओके, अँड दोज हू वॉन्ट टू टेक अ चान्स जस्ट टू अप्लाय, इफ दे गेट स्कॉलरशिप गो, अदरवाइज दे विल नॉट गो. फॉर देम द कॉस्ट इज $100,000. But if you can come to me and I'll tell you whether you will get scholarship or not. Then you decide whether to apply depending on your credentials. Or we never know. Sometimes you may get scholarship from some good universities also. So 200,000, you will not get any loan for this. This is your money. When you go to America, the average tuition cost is 23,000 per annum for 4 years. Because tuition cost can vary. It can vary from 16,000 to 50,000 depending on the rank of the university, location of the university and standing of that university. If you go to MIT, obviously you are going to pay heavy. MIT म्हणजे अमेरिकेतलं MIT. म्हणजे तेवढीच फी आपल्या इथल्या MIT मध्ये सुद्धा आहे आता. That is a different thing. पण if you go to MIT, Stanford, Harvard, then you really have to shell out a lot of money. But if you go to reasonably good university like Oregon State University आहे, North Dakota State University आहे, Xavier's University आहे, तर तिथे तुमची कॉस्ट कॅन बी $16,000 also per annum. So you decide your budget and then we'll apply. So total tuition cost is $92,000. Living cost on paper it can be $16,000, but Indian students स्वतःच फूड स्वतः करतात, एकत्र राहतात. So they spend about $700 to $800 a month. So 9,000. So 4 years, 36,000. So maximum cost is $128,000, approximately 90 lakhs. This is the maximum possible cost. एवढा खर्च येत नाही. कसा ते I am going to tell you now. Okay, so don't get disheartened. नाही तर घाबरून जाल तुम्ही. Financial assistance. This is how you earn money. See, they are going to discuss it more about campus jobs, even internships and co-ops also you will discuss. Tuition scholarship. I have been telling you right from the beginning that if you get SAT high score, then you get tuition waiver. Clear? Because Americans try to invite good students to their university. That is their culture. Remember, American universities are charitable organizations. They are not profit-making organizations. So they try to give more to their students, education, funds, and they support students. त्यांची ती हे ट्रस्ट आहेत सगळे. हे कोणाच्या मालकीचे शिक्षण सम्राटांच्या मालकीच्या युनिव्हर्सिटी नसतात त्या. सो दे ट्राय टू हेल्प स्टुडंट्स. आणि आपल्या इथल्या जास्त आहेत त्या प्रायव्हेटली ओन्ड कॉलेजेस आहेत. ट्युशन स्कॉलरशिप. नंबर 2, टीचिंग असिस्टन्स. Teaching assistant means you don't teach actually, but you help the teacher. They will explain you more. Co-op jobs means while you study, you are allowed to work outside. That is called co-op jobs. So you can earn very good money to pay for your tuition and living costs for the next semesters. Internships. That means you can do internship for summer break. Sometimes you can do internship. Internship is working outside in a company, even for one full semester, and then you can earn good money, come back, and then pay for your tuition. Plus campus jobs. American universities are run by students. There are no peons or no workers there. So all the students jointly run the university, and therefore they are allowed to work 20 hours per week. And they get paid for that. They get paid about $10 to $11, $12 per hour. So if you really manage your time and if you work for 20 hours per week, you can easily earn about $700 to $800 per month. And your entire living cost will be taken care of. So you need not take anything from their parents. So with the help of all this, you can reduce your cost from 90 lakhs to even 30 lakhs or even 25 lakhs if you are a very exceptionally brilliant student. Is that clear? तर अमेरिकेमध्ये तिथे स्टुडंट्सना खूप काम करावं लागतं. म्हणजे खेळही तितकेच असतात, पण कामही खूप करावं लागतं. अँड देन दे अर्न लॉट ऑफ मनी. विजा स्टेटस. You get F1 visa, which is given for 5 years. Your course is for 4 years, but in case if you want to delay, then after you complete your graduation, you are given an OPT. When you work, while studying when you work, that is called CPT, Curriculum Practical Training. Once you complete your graduation, then you are given OPT, Optional Practical Training card, on which you can work for a year. But if you are a STEM student, then you can work for 3 years without work permit, without H1B visa, and you can earn enough to pay for your loan which you borrow, which you take in India. But if you want to stay in America further, then you can apply for H1B visa and you can work there for 3 years. 3 more years, you can renew that visa. In the meanwhile, if you want to stay in America permanently, then you can apply for green card. तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल ग्रीन कार्ड सगळं. This is a timeline. I am assuming that you are going next year. You can adjust the timeline if you are going in 2021. The course will begin. Applications, I have already told you that application process should be over by September, October. But for the course which will begin in August 2020, course ends on 15th May 2024. 60 days are given to you for job search officially. During that period, if you get a job, you can apply for optional practical training for 12 months or 24 months, depending on which category you are from. Clear? So this is your timeline. Education loans can be obtained from nationalized banks, private banks, financial institutions such as HDFC, Credila. This is the student wing of HDFC. We are together for last 10 years, and they give loan to almost 80% of our students. And I'm very proud that in last 9 years, there is no default from any of our students. Everybody repaid the loan. That is very important. Moratorium for 4 years. Charge undergrad law? 2 years. Moratorium is for 2 years and then repayment in next 10 to 15 years. Canada also is a popular destination for higher studies after America. Top quality education and excellent facilities are, it's like sister country of America. Qualifying examinations, admission process is same. Easier to get work permit. The only advantage of Canada is getting green card in America has become very, very difficult. There is a long queue. But getting permanent residence in America is just a matter of 5 years. So what people do is they study in US, parallelly they apply for immigration to Canada. After they complete their graduation, they go to Canada, they start working there. After completing work for 5 years in Canada, you become citizen. And then you are allowed to go to America and work anywhere. And you can get a job because you have American degree. So हा route बरेच लोक आता follow करायला लागलेत. So you can also try that out. So I have briefly give you all this information. For more information, you can come to my office. Wednesday we are closed because of Palki. But otherwise we are open at 9 and we close at 6:30 in the evening. Our number is 67444222. You can check our website. And there are several counselors. They will give you guidelines about the education in America, bachelor's education. And I'm also available in the evening between 6 to 7 with prior appointment. And in case if you are interested in joining our SAT course, after the lecture gets over, you can see the reception and you can pay 1,000 and book your seat. And the course is starting on 9th of April. We have also given you a small booklet to give you a brief idea what American education is. Okay? So you are welcome to our academy for any further questions. And now I request Dr. Melody and Dr. Sherawat to come on the dais and give their presentation. After their presentation, Maggie will speak to you for a few minutes and then question answer because that is very important. And I have a small request to all the parents and students not to leave this auditorium till the function is over, because this is insult of the people who organize the function. त्यामुळे यापुढे कोणालाही बाहेर जाऊन दिलं जाणार नाही. हा अमेरिकन रूल आहे आणि we follow that rule in India also. Okay?
Hello there. Namaste. Very nice to see you all today. Seema and I, Dr. Sarawat and I will be presenting together. Again, I'm Dr. Melody Stapleton. My background is computer science. I was faculty for many, many years and then became department chair, associate dean, and now I am the dean of engineering, computer science, and construction management. We have a lot of programs in our college.
This is just our website for you to kind of see. You all know me. We were given a wonderful introduction by Mr. Atul.
Right, so we like to do tag team back and forth because anything I forget, she always remembers, and vice versa. So we do have 4-year undergraduate degree programs, many programs in our college. The first 2 years, you focus on what's called your general education, which is things like history, English, there's science in general education. You can choose biology, chemistry. There's lots of mathematics if you're going to go into one of the fields in our college of engineering. There's required 2 years of calculus. And much of the calculus counts as general education. So the idea of general education is to make you a very well-rounded citizen of the world. And so it's very much emphasized in our university. When you get there, we recommend, if you're going to come into these STEM fields, which we're very hopeful you do, you meet with your major advisor. If you're majoring in mechanical engineering, go see a mechanical engineering professor. You will be assigned one right from the start. That will be your advisor throughout, and they will give you lots of helpful information. So exactly, since they're very packed majors, very packed with a lot of technical classes, it's very important that you start early on taking those technical classes. General advisors will not necessarily know all the different technical fields, and so meet with your own specific advisor, be that computer science or engineering. And also, general academic advising is very, very helpful. They are paid advisors that work for all majors. We actually have in our College of Engineering what we call a Student Success Center that has professional advising for all of our technical majors. So students really love to be able to have all this help, and we really encourage you to take advantage of that. Also, we want you to definitely engage in campus life. I have been teaching at Chico State. Next year will be my 39th year. I came when I was a wee little lass of 28. I hope you can understand me. Am I okay? You can? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I have that California accent going on. So, so engage in campus life. We've been having Indian students come to our college, specifically in computer science, for years and years, for decades. And there are so many of them that have been so successful. Many have started their own companies. They're chief information officers, chief technology officers. Some are even CEOs of corporations. As Mr. Dilip said, 95% stay in America. I wasn't really even aware of that number. I would have guessed 70, 75. But our Indian students are a very close-knit community. I've loved teaching Indian students from the beginning, from the first time I met any of them. I taught database systems, and for some reason, Indian students love databases. They love data, and they love databases. So they took all my classes. They were amazing and excellent. I'm very close to my students, and we go and see them in the Bay Area, and also just know that you will have a very welcoming environment and professors that just think the world of you. So do make friends beyond the Indian community. You may have seen in the video earlier all the different club activities at Chico State. There's people of all backgrounds, all cultures that participate in these clubs. Chico is a very welcoming, very diverse environment. I think you will really enjoy it. So go to the next one. Right. Take it.
Just to add, what happens here in India is that our parents talk for us or talk on behalf of us, right? Whenever you are even asking a question, it's usually a parent asking a question. So we need to switch that while you are thinking of coming to US, and when you especially get to US, your parents are not going to be with you. You need to be proactive. So when you go meet new people, you introduce yourself, you meet your professors from your department, it gives you that confidence that you need to interact in different environments on your own. So when you come for an education in the United States, yes, we want you to be serious and we want you to study hard, and you should always remember that's the first focus, but don't forget to have fun. You are young, right? We all want to enjoy life too, and as Mr. Oak was saying, the beauty of undergraduate education is the first 2 years are general education where you can decide where you really want to go. So your 4-year degree really lets you know what you will do for the next 40 years. So those 4 years are very crucial for your life.
So we want to expand a little bit on the different rankings or tiers of universities in the United States. You know, the tier one that are called the research or R1 universities. They all have PhD programs. They're very much into getting grants and donations and contracts. So, and the faculty focus a lot on that. Their survival and getting tenure and promoted through their teaching or through that system depends on getting all those grants and contracts. I went to a tier one, the University of California at Riverside. And our teachers, as we were undergraduates, were all typically, they were students, master's students or PhD students. So the faculty, the ones that are assistant, associate, and full professors, they don't really focus on teaching per se. So I remember in many of my classes, I had Chinese master's and PhD students, and they were very difficult to understand. They did not speak very good English. So the thing about R1 schools is you can be a really good student there if you know how to learn on your own. So I'm all about, I've loved teaching from the get-go and love to explain things in ways people could understand. So those faculty, those people who get their PhDs go to the R2 institutions to teach. Their focus is on explaining things very, very well. So when it comes to excellent teachers that care about you and are going to give you all the knowledge they have, and they did go to those R1s, you're going to get a better, education. Unless you can learn anything on your own, I would recommend that you go to a Tier 2 school if you really care about having good teaching there. So there's an advantage to that. So we're just showing a number of different universities here and their costs. UC Berkeley, all the UC systems are Tier 1, as I went to a Tier 1. And then Michigan State is a Tier 1. All of these at the top are Tier 1 universities. When we get close to the bottom, we're looking at teaching universities, or R2. So the cost is less, but the teaching, the education you get, the attention you get is greater. Class sizes are much smaller at teaching universities. In a freshman math class, you could have 1,000 students in there. You're one of the crowd. Your teacher does not get to know you. If you go to Chico State, you'll have, in math classes, they put a cap of 35 on those. So your teacher will know each and every one of you. Okay, I'm going to finish filling.
Smaller universities or smaller campuses, we are going to do question and answer later on. So if you could just hold on to your question, please. Small teaching universities that are public, they really feel like private universities in the United States. The culture is very personable. We as instructors, we really know our students very well. Also, the focus of undergraduate education, mostly at the teaching universities, is very applied. It's very hands-on. And when you go for your undergraduate degree, you are really not going there to become a research expert in that field. You are going there to really learn and hands-on and have that applied knowledge of your field so you can go find a job. And teaching universities usually are very applied, and they prepare you for hitting the ground running as you graduate.
So this is just to talk a little bit about the career cycle, what you can expect in the US. And so please make sure your academics come first, although a social life is also very, very important. Get really good grades. The corporations that come and interview to hire, either for curricular practical training, which is done during the time you're an undergraduate student, you can, in your junior year, typically you know enough in your discipline to go out and get a job for the summer. And you can even take an internship that lasts, as Mr. Oak said, through a semester. These are very well-paying jobs, by the way. The average salary for computer science graduates is one of the top, and we have many students leaving with $100,000 per year jobs with their bachelor's degrees. So it's, if you're one of those top students, you can do amazing. Amazon hired one of our students for $120,000 first salary with a $40,000 cash startup and $40,000 worth of stock in the company. So and especially in computer science, the job offers have been very high. In other engineering disciplines, $70,000 to $80,000 per year is standard. For some reason, well, I think software rules the world. You agree? Yeah, pretty much. Everything has software in it, even all those other engineering gadgets or inventions. So again, the curricular practical training, I really advise that. The other thing about taking those internships is companies in the US now, they will hire you in an internship and then observe your performance, help you, coach you, and then they'll say, that student was excellent on the job, they were wonderful teamwork people and so skilled, and then they'll say, okay, you have a job when you get out of college with us. So that is the optional practical training. Again, in our fields, in our college, you can stay for 3 years. So you can imagine with a salary of $100,000 in computer science, $300,000, many of our students save that money. They can buy a house readily, or they can send money back to their families overseas. So The bottom line there, I added that recently. You can literally pay for all your U.S. education between the CPT while you're in school and the OPT once you leave school. So I know the cost may seem rather onerous, very, very costly, but the rewards of coming to STEM fields in the U.S. are very great, and they outweigh those costs.
I'll go back for a second. So this career cycle is really, really important for Indian students to understand. When we talk about on-campus employment, and Mr. Oak wanted us to elaborate more on it when we were going to present, if you are a parent who thinks you have the 90 lakh rupees and you can afford your kid's education, then you might think, why does my kid want to work? Why should they have an on-campus employment? On-campus employment are not just for you to earn money, they teach you way more. When employers hire you, they see that you have done something. Even if you worked in dining services, you may have to go to work at 5:30 in the morning and wash dishes. How many of you, the kids, I'm not talking about the parents, wash dishes at your house? Some, right? Usually when you will get there, almost all of you are going to wash your own dishes. So it's important that work ethic, that discipline is very, very important. We as Americans really value work ethic, discipline, being on time, and these on-campus jobs, even if your parents have the money to afford your living, to afford your education, you should really pursue on-campus job. If you feel that your parents don't have the money and you are taking a loan, and then you have $36,000 on top for living expenses, these on-campus jobs really will help you cover that $36,000 while you are there. So you could easily earn, while working on campus, your living expenses. So that's very important for you to take in mind. Also, when you're doing an on-campus job, you learn the American way. They say an Indian in America is very successful if they know how to walk on both sides of the street. I can be an Indian, right? सब मालूम है कि यहाँ पे कैसे करते हैं और क्या rule follow करते हैं, नहीं करते हैं. And then we can switch very quickly, become an American and follow the rules and really live that honest life that America gives us. So on-campus jobs teach you all those things. CPT really allows you to go in the industry for 6 months, for 3 months, get that hands-on learning, and then come back and finish your education. So you really should consider this career life cycle very seriously.
That is a very good point, Seema. In fact, what we find with some students, they're not that excited about what they're learning until they go and get that summer internship, co-op, the CPT, and then they come back and they say, wow, I know how I'm gonna apply all this knowledge. I know I can be very successful at this. Oh, I wish I had known more about this subject, say databases, so I could have done more in my internship. So they come back and they're the best students because they're so motivated by the applications. This is just to show you, we're giving a general presentation about undergraduate educations, but of course we have to slip in a little bit about Chico State. And so this is showing in California. You saw before, you know, where San Francisco is and Los Angeles and Hollywood. Where Chico is about, it's in the Sacramento Valley, Sacramento being the capital, and the capital is highlighted there. You can drive to Sacramento from Chico in 1.5 hours. So the red area there on the map is where Chico is located. It's beautiful. It's got the second largest city park in the whole of the United States, called Bidwell Park. It's second only to Central Park in New York. So the outdoor activities are amazing and beautiful, just to get you oriented as to where it is. Okay, one more little pitch for Chico. For some reason, even though we're rural, it's a very nice residential campus, campus away from big cities. We have so many people that have created first types of programs at that place. I always wonder, why are these innovators go to Chico? So we had the very first computer science degree. It had already been there more than 10 years when I got there nearly 40 years ago. So, and it was the first computer science department pretty much in the state of California then, and little tiny Chico. Also, first and only computer animation and game development degree. You saw some clips of all these majors in the earlier Chico video. First and only mechatronic engineering program. The reason we got that Omron $1 million grant is because our mechatronics engineering is not just a couple of classes added on to mechanical engineering. It is from the day you start as a freshman, you're taught mechatronics. Robotics and automation of manufacturing is the key elements of mechatronics. So we're very proud of that innovative program. First and largest construction management degree program in the entire CSU. The CSU is California State University, those two second tier, and there are 23 campuses total. So to be isolated in Chico, isolated is maybe not the best word, been in a warm, awesome little town, to have all these honors is tremendous. First computer engineering degree in the entire CSU, and first and only concrete industry management degree. That degree is by and large supported by companies, patrons who donate millions of dollars a year. They don't have very many majors, but all their majors are spoiled. They all get scholarships and they all get jobs, and they have multiple 5 job offers when they graduate because there's such a need for building in concrete in the US and no doubt in the world. This is just briefly at Chico State. You see there what's the Baja vehicle in the top picture. That is the Society of Automotive Engineers, huge society, primarily, Detroit, Michigan manufactures many of the autos in the United States, automobiles. But we have 2 clubs. The Baja, where they bounce around on hills and in forests and in the desert, and their car competition. We had a little gal that was the driver. She grew up being kind of a jock, and she is a cross-country track runner, and she weighs probably 85 pounds soaking wet, and she was the driver of this vehicle. No fear, because you're bouncing all over the hills and all that. And they came in first place in one of the areas, second place in another area of judgment. And that's compared to the University of Michigan, who gets tons of donations from the auto industry, and our students do it on kind of a shoestring. They're just super smart. So many clubs in the college, 30 plus, 75 plus companies come and recruit. That's probably closer to 100 now. Now Facebook, Google, all the big companies, LinkedIn, Amazon, they've had our students come as interns, and now they regularly recruit from us, even though we're not R1. They used to only recruit from places like UC Berkeley and those places, but they love the productivity of our students. Very small classes, a total of 91 total faculty, and there are about 3,000 engineering, computer science, and construction management majors.
I think we talked about the career cycle, and STEM field is very, very important in that career cycle. If you choose a degree that is not STEM, then you're only allowed a 1-year OPT when you come to, when you finish your degree. But if you have a STEM, if it's a STEM degree, then you can have 1 year and then a 2-year extension, and you are able to stay in the United States for 3 years and really earn all that money that you have taken in loan and pay for your education. The other thing to remember, as we do these OPTs for 3 years, instead of an H-1B, if you stay on an OPT, you don't have to pay Social Security, you don't have to pay Medicare, so you actually take home more money than if you were to get an H-1B and really get a job. So it's just a way of saving more money. When you finish your degree, you have 60 days to find an internship or a paid job. I would say nobody would want you to wait till you finish your degree and just have those 60 days in hand for you to find a job. You need to be proactive. I know you are in your 10th or your 11th grade, and having a job is such a thought that doesn't maybe even exist in your future right now, but it's very important. You are making a huge investment for your future. You are coming to United States, leaving your parents behind. You won't have that support system you have here. So you need to kind of prepare yourself and be proactive, engage where you are going in your environment to really become that person who can go out and have a conversation, network with people, and find an internship, maybe even in the summer, so you get those experiences and build on those experiences, and then you are work ready. So don't wait till the 4th year of your degree and start thinking about your career.
This is just very quick. A list of companies, they're not, it's not all inclusive, but many, many companies recruit at Chico State. And so another thing, if you do choose Chico State, we have a international studies unit on campus that will be your best friends, will be there to support you, many different support units. And so there's their email address, their International Student Services, and they have a great admission team that's waiting there for you to contact them. So, thank you very much.
I have one last advice for the parents. I know it's difficult when we send our children so far away from us. My parents did that several years ago. And some of us turn out to be very hardworking and we work hard. Some of us, we know our kids very well, can be very mischievous and may divert from the path a little. There is nothing to really worry about. I think your child and you need to know that sometimes we make mistakes in our life, and on every American campus there is help. So it's important for the student and the parents to kind of understand what is there. Especially if you're sending your child at an undergraduate level, you do want to know campus resources. The Office of International Education at every university becomes a huge resource to you as a parent. Usually every university will have an Indian Student Association. The advisor of the Indian Student Association, or the students that are already there for a few years, they become your resource. And if your student, for some reason, there are majors that have very high failure rates. In STEM degrees, sometimes you have setbacks and you're not able to pass a class, that's okay. So encouraging your student, your child, is very, very important, and then directing them to right resources, them going and talking to their professor, okay, this semester I didn't do well, what can I do the next semester? So just understand that sometimes some things happen that don't go on that path. Seek out, don't wait. We have had students whose parents really waited, and it was such a long wait that nothing can be done. So please be proactive, have your child be proactive, and you be proactive in kind of seeing what they are doing on that campus.
Thank you, Melody and Seema. Very wonderful presentation, and I'm sure parents got a lot of answers to the questions we have in their mind. We'll have question answer session, of course, but our time is till 12. So I'll request Maggie to say a few words to our students.
Good morning. In the interest of time, I'm going to be very brief and just say you all have received wonderful advice from Mr. Dilip and also from my esteemed colleagues from California State University at Chico. And so I will just reinforce some of what they said about it is good to be proactive, but also to let you know, America, we're the country of the Statue of Liberty. It's in New York. We are very proud of it. And we want you to know that we really do welcome you to come, and we welcome your ideas and the time that you will spend, and you will benefit us. Your coming to America is something that can help our country to grow and to develop new ideas. And so we really do welcome you, and I hope that you will take that with a very sincere heart, and please do consider coming. And as was mentioned just a moment ago, do know that there are resources on the campus to help you be settled, to help you succeed upon graduation. and we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie. So you heard Californian accents and New York accents both. There are several accents in America, you will realize once you go there. Especially if you go to Texas, the accents are totally different. Now I'll call Amit Paranspe and Mugdha Gangal on the dais, and then we'll start question answer session. Everybody will participate in question answer session. Amit Paranspe is director of Paranspe Schemes Limited. He went to Purdue and he finished his graduation in construction engineering and management. Mugdha Vaishampan is studying at Georgia Tech. Mugdha Gangal, I'm sorry. In Georgia Tech, she is in the final year of her mechanical engineering. So he has already completed graduation. She is completing her graduation next year. So I'll ask two questions to Amit. Come. एक माइक आहे का रे हातात धरायचं? हां ठीक आहे, तू याच्यावर बोलते माइक आहे. The question to Amit is, you have a lot of friends who studied in India. Well, let me clarify. When I say undergraduate degree, that is called bachelor's degree in India. When I say graduate degree, that is called master's degree in India. So don't get confused. Clear? So when you did undergraduate degree in America, all your friends were studying in India. Do you really think that you are benefited by going to America to do your undergrad?
Hello. Good morning. Definitely, yes. I mean, that is probably the best decision that I took. My parents allowed me to take that decision. And I feel, I think it starts with parents actually being very supportive of you. I went there in 2007, so at that time probably no one at that time was going
No,
to the
very
US
few
for
students used
undergrad.
to go for undergrad, yes.
So, but what they actually, so if I come from a business family, so I was quite sheltered in my lifestyle. I didn't have to go out much. And what my father really said, that the day you decide that you want to go to the US, he told me to do everything on my own. All the application, even going to Dilip was my decision. He said, I will monitor what you're doing, but I will not come with you anywhere. I will not come with you for your recommendation letters. And I think that was the first step, because when you go there, you are completely on your own. Your friends are your family. Your family is actually here, probably 2 days away. So that was something which really helped me, prepared me to go to the US. And I thank my parents for that.
Yeah. And did it really help when you came back and joined your business?
Yeah, I think there are two major things, outcomes of US education, undergrad education. One is that you become really confident, because I remember my first semester, I had an entire class on public speaking. I was a very shy student back in India, and we had to give 4 presentations to an American, entire class of American students. So that really helped me, so that I can now talk in front of 2,000, 10,000, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And the other part was the work ethic. Actually, contrary to what you see in the movies, where US education is all about partying, actually, it is very much, a lot of it is to do with schooling as well. Because in India, I don't think after 6th grade anyone does homework. But for 4 years in the US, I think you have homework that if it's due on Monday, there's homework due on Wednesday, there's homework due on Friday. So what happens is, and there is almost 20-25% grading for that homework, right? So the work ethic part really gets developed. So if, basic life skills such as coming on time, like if 10 o'clock is the office time, then you are there at 10 o'clock. If there is a due deadline to be done, that deadline happens. So work ethic is something else that I would say is the outcome of my education there.
Wonderful. Because I know him since he was 2 years old. So I've seen change in him when he came back from America. Now Mugdha, come in front. Very small kid. If she is just 19 years old, she is doing her final in Georgia Tech. Selecting major. In India, we have to select major on day 1. What was your experience in Georgia Tech?
Hi. So selecting major is not a hard process. you can actually go in as an undecided major, and then counselors and advisors help you they guide you through the process of like finding out what you want to do. And the system is very flexible, so you can take whatever classes you want. The way it works is that a degree basically, they have a specific curriculum, and then you have classes that you need to, by classes I mean courses. So classes that you need to take, and then you can choose the order that you can take them in. You can choose the professors, depending on which professors are available. And you can also choose the timings as well. So it's easy to, it's a very flexible system, and it's very easy to decide what you want to do, and also change your options.
No, but do tell your experience about selecting your major.
I wasn't sure going in what I wanted to do, because my dad's a mechanical engineer, and my mom's an ENTC engineer. So the only thing I was good at in high school was mathematics. So I decided to do mathematics. I went in as a math major. And then in a few months, because applications are due in February. So when I decided that I wanted to be a math major, that was February. And then in June, during orientation, I decided that I wanted to do physics and go into research, do pure science. So I changed my major during orientation with just one form, just like one signature, and that was it. And then my parents actually sort of brainwashed me into going for computer science, because it's a very new upcoming field and it has a lot of opportunity. So then I changed my major into computer science again. And that was very easy. That was like one click on the computer, and that was done. But then after like 1 year of doing computer science, I realized that I wanted to do mechanical or engineering, basically, like my dad. So then I went for material science and engineering, and then I changed again to mechanical. But that was so basically after my second year, that's when I started my mechanical engineering curriculum.
I'm sure you have taken the final decision now.
I don't think I can change anymore.
Change 4 majors in 2 years. That is the flexibility which they offer in America. You can choose your professor, you can choose your syllabus, which is not available in India. And they have already explained that this is not very expensive game. You can recover your cost. There are a lot of avenues available. Now, about 10 minutes for questions. Just raise your hand. There are a lot of volunteers going around with the microphone. So raise your hand and they will come to you. And any one of us will answer your question. You can speak. Oh, already somebody. How did they get into those respective schools? No, that we have already explained in the presentation. So I don't want to go into details of that, how they got. No, the same thing which I explained to you earlier.
I have a question about choosing multiple disciplines, as in, along with STEM, if a child is also interested in, say, literature or economics for that matter, in Chico, how do you go about it?
You want to?
Thank you for that question. We do have a lot of what we call double majors. Many will get an engineering major, and they also get computer science because they take software in that. We typically have a lot of computer engineering majors who have a background, a lot of electrical, circuitry, that kind of thing. They will also get their computer science degree. So, and we see double majors between physics and engineering, chemistry and engineering. So it can be done. It's very challenging for the students, and I would really insist that they get major advising in both disciplines and have somebody map out a 4-year plan for them. But it can be done.
But it can be totally out. I mean, physics and computer science is like science subjects, right? Somebody's interested in humanitarian. You do allow such a thing?
Amit, would you like to say anything?
I did a major in construction engineering management, and I did a minor in organizational leadership. So the way American system is set up is that it's in 4 years you do about 128 to 136 credits, and there are a lot of electives that you can take. So what I did was I channeled some of my electives for that specific minor that I was interested in, and I could get a major and a minor in those 4 years.
Wonderful. If I'm allowed, I have one question
Quick,
about...
because there are a lot of people who are raising
Sure.
hands.
This is about the safety of the student. Because
Well,
we get
safety there is absolutely safe, don't worry.
No, because we hear a lot of news wherein, you know,
They are at a wrong place. If your child goes to a wrong place, obviously he will face that drill. But otherwise, if you live in campus or if you live with good people, because I have sent thousands of students, nothing has happened so far to any of my students. Anyway, this small gift to you for asking a good question on behalf of CSE Chico.
Just what we need to remember when we want to do a double major, sometimes instead of a 4-year degree, it might take you 4.5 or 5 years because your coursework might increase slightly. So if there is nobody stopping you from becoming a double major though.
Anybody?
Yeah,
Microphone
hello.
good.
Hello. This,
Volunteers.
hello, one question here. Like contrary to the option of choosing major later after say 1 year or 2 year, is there any benefit of choosing a branch which is an interdisciplinary branch like say mechatronics or biomedical, that type of branches instead of mechanical or computer right at the start? Is there a benefit or not of that? So can you answer that? Thank you.
It's definitely very advantageous to do that, and it's actually recommended to take majors that that you can basically where you are trying to mix two fields together.
So what you can do is that everyone only knows civil engineering back in India. So you don't know that within civil engineering there are 6 other branches as well. So when I went there, I went in as someone who wanted to do civil engineering, but then construction engineering management was a part of School of Civil Engineering. So you can pinpoint it at day 1 as well.
And if I may add one point here, different universities have different setups. So at Binghamton, if you come in for engineering, in your freshman year, it's just pure engineering, and you don't declare your discipline until the end of your freshman year. And a lot of universities have that so that you can have exposure and you're not changing your major multiple times and things like that. So it ensures that you can still graduate on time.
Sir,
Okay,
this is
small interruption. Those who will not get a chance to ask question here, they can write an email to us, support@dilipoacademy.com. So those questions will be answered to you within 2 days' time. We'll try to accommodate maximum possible.
So what about
parents,
medical field?
Huh?
What about medical field?
Medical, we'll have to meet separately because it's a little expensive game, so I'll have to explain you everything.
Okay.
So you can meet in my office in the evening at 6, Monday to Friday.
Good morning. We spoke about a lot about STEM. My daughter is an ISC student and from social sciences. So for economics, what kind of advice would you give?
I actually am a professor of social work. So I moved to engineering later on as an administrator, but I went to United States to do my PhD in social work. Economics, social sciences, psychology, they're all really good fields. You just have to kind of see what her future plan is. Does she want to stay in the United States and work there? I think that's where it gets a little tricky, finding jobs, because there are a lot of jobs in STEM fields. When we go for these other fields, if the student really wants to do research and maybe do their master's program and a PhD, social sciences work really well for Indians. At an undergraduate level, it might be difficult after the 1-year OPT to stay there and find a job. Does that help? Okay, thank you.
Speak loudly, sir. Quick, we are short of time.
So I wanted to ask, so how do Tier 1 or Tier 2 universities in the US compare to, let's say, the top IITs or BITS Pilani in India?
Very difficult question. IITians and BITS Pilani, I will say, are at par with American universities.
Okay.
But getting into IIT is, probability is 2%. Because out of 1.2 million who appear, hardly 11,000 students get into those universities.
Like for
but
example,
if you are getting into IIT Mumbai, obviously you should choose that as your career.
I meant like in terms of personality development, career opportunities, etc.
That you can have in IIT also. If you go to IIT Mumbai and see the campus, all these things are taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. My son wants to do undergraduate in computer science. He is not having, he has dropped maths in 12th science. So So is there, the maths is mandatory for 12th?
Maggie, sorry. Table to-
Your question again, make sure I got it right, is math compulsory to be in computer science?
He was having maths in 10th and 11th standard. In 12th standard, he dropped the maths.
Okay. For beginning computer science classes, just algebra and I think pre-calculus. So you can start taking the classes in your major without having that mathematics, but there is a degree at Chico State called Management Information Systems, Business Information Systems, that is a blend between computer science and business management. And it does not have all the math requirements that our computer science degree has. So that might be an option for it was your son, right? Yes.
Okay.
So what happened actually, to add on to the answer, what you can do is there are two things. If someone has dropped 12 standard maths, even if he's done 11 maths, you can do some basic foundation level math courses in your freshman first year semester. And if you think that you're really good at maths, there's something called advanced placement exams, which allow you to, so it's made up, so US courses are made up of credits. So if you give certain advanced placement exams, which you can give, I think, even in Pune, I think in Mumbai, if you do that, you can really test out of the basic foundation courses in your freshman year semester. So you can almost save an entire semester if, by testing out of maths, physics, and chemistry.
Thank you.
Fine. 2 or 3 more questions.
I have
Okay, go ahead.
Bol, pattan bol.
I have done my diploma right now in mechanical engineering. So can I apply for bachelor's
I don't know.
after diploma?
You probably will know more.
Do you have a 12th, is diploma equal to 12th grade?
Yeah, +1.
10
like-
plus
12 plus 1?
Yeah.
As long as you have a high school degree, you can. Sometimes students get really stuck on how many credits can I transfer because I've taken some courses in India or other countries. Universities will look at your transcript and they may be able to take a course or two, what you have done here in your one-year diploma, and give you credit for that. But nobody is stopping you for not applying. I think, please go ahead. You would be able to.
Okay, thank you.
So the scholarship you offer for the student while taking admission is applicable for all 4 years, or it depends on GPA every year?
Every university has a different scholarship system. For CSU Chico, our fee structure, if you saw that table that we were presenting, our fee structure is already so subsidized by the state of California because we are a state university, and public education, California really works hard to keep it at a low level. So scholarships are very rare in the CSU system. Your child might get some based on merit. For a semester, it's depending on GPA too. They could get non-resident fee waiver for a semester or two, but nothing is guaranteed for the 4 years.
So what should be our GRE score to get admission to the top university?
GRE? No. We are talking about SAT, undergrad admission here.
Okay, sir.
It's not a GRE seminar. Only 2 more questions and then we will
Apart
stop.
from the STEM aspect of the program, when we talk about commerce and art fields, is there sufficient assistance given to them, or?
Honestly speaking, it's difficult for non-STEM students, you are in the non-STEM, because you will spend a lot of money. You may not be able to recover that because non-STEM students get OPT only for 1 year. So we don't know whether we'll get a job and whether we'll be able to get enough money to repay our loan. So it's slightly risky to go into non-STEM category today. Last question now.
Hi, I'm a law aspirant. So at CSU Chico, do you have like internships for people who are looking for liberal arts as a degrees? And what are the liberal arts majors you have at Chico?
Law degree.
Did you say you're interested in law?
Yeah, so I know that law is postgrad in USA. So for that, you'll have to do a major in liberal arts. That was what I heard from many people. So what are the options for majors in liberal arts, and like while studying, can you do an internship, or like what are the working options when you're doing a non-STEM major?
Right. Most of the people that go on to law school that are from Chico are majoring in political science. So they give a background in politics and all that. What are the liberal arts majors in Chico as well? There are many, many liberal arts. There's art major, history major, music major, English major. So, and on our website, you can see the list of all of those if you're curious. So, yeah, it's nice to be that well-rounded person if you're going to be an attorney as well. So.
Okay. You can ask because you have been trying for a long time, and then we'll stop. Huh? Again, the same question is cropping up. Arts is again non-STEM category.
Sir, you said about jobs and prepaying
Jobs,
the loan.
the arts, there are so many Americans who are in the same field, so getting job is little difficult.
What about the quality of teaching here in India, Bachelor?
I don't know what will happen back home. So arts you can afford to go if you have a lot of money to spend and you don't expect any recovery.
Okay.
Otherwise, no. STEM is a safe entry in America.
Okay.
Fine, in fact, that formality I forgot earlier. I request Maggie to offer bouquet to Mr. Amit on behalf of Dilip Oaks Academy. And Seema to give bouquet to Mugdha Gangal on behalf of Dilip Oaks Academy. Fine. So it was a wonderful morning. I really enjoyed with you. And I'm sure we tried to give you maximum possible information in the span of 2 hours. But obviously you have several questions in your mind which you could not answer because of the time constraint. So if you have any questions, please send an email to us on support@dilipacademy.com and we'll try to answer within 2 days. Thank you once again. Thanks for coming for the seminar.